Hey y'all, it is Decades Day at school today, so that's why I'm dressed like a 50s girl. Um, but I did want to begin our dividing decimals topic by talking again about the rule of 10. We started our multiplication of decimals topic by the rule with the rule of 10, and we're going to do the same thing with division. So let's look at our notes. We are in our class notebook today, and I want you to fill out the notes along with me, okay? In the rule of 10, we know that when we multiply a number by 10, everything increases a place value. But if we divide by a number of 10, what do you think happens? Well, we know that when we divide, a number usually gets smaller. So dividing a number by 10 decreases the number by 1 place value. This moves the decimal 1 place to the left. Let's take a look at some of our examples. If we divide 50 by 10, our decimal is on the right side of the 0, but then it moves to create a number 5. It moves between the 5 and the 0. If we divide 5 by 10, my decimal, once again, it starts on the right side of the 5 and moves 1 place to the left to get 5/10. And then finally, if we divide 5/10 by 10, my decimal is between the 0 and the 5. It moves 1 place to the left to make 5/100. Who's that? Is that Sarah Lee or Dora? Okay, this is the reason that it works for division, almost the same way it works with multiplication, is because they are inverse operations. So let's take a look at some examples. If we divide 23 divided by 10. Well, 23 is a whole number. When there is no decimal, we know that it is a whole number. And we also know that 3 is in the ones place value, and that decimal is always on the right side of the ones place value. But if we divide by 10, everything moves down a place value. So let's go ahead and label our place values to show. Right now, the 2 is in the tens and the 3 is in the ones. Well, if we divide by 10, nothing changes to my digits. They stay in the same order. They just move place values. And one indicator of a number's place value is the decimal. So after we divide by 10, my 2, which was in the tens place value, should be in the ones. And my 3, which was in the ones place value, should move to the tenths, little t. And how do I show that 2 is in the ones and 3 is in the tenths? I need to put a decimal in between. Okay? What about if we divided 534? Let's go ahead and put that decimal to show that this is in the ones place, and I'm going to put a 0 after it. Okay, now let's label our place values. 534. Well, in 534, my 5 is in the hundreds, my 3 is in the tens, and my 4 is in the ones. And I have 0 in my tenths. If we divide by 10, My digits stay in the same order, but everything moves down a place value. So let's start with the 5. It was in the hundreds. If it moves down a place value, it's in the tens. My 3 was in the tens, but if we move down a place value, it will be in the ones. My 4 was in the tenths. If it moves down a place value, I did it again. My 4 was in the ones. I'm sorry. But if it moves down a place value, it will end in the tenths. And finally, my 0 was in the tenths. But if it moves down a place value, it will be in the hundreds. How do I show that this is 53 and 4/10? Well, I need to put that decimal right where it always goes, between the ones and the tenths. So if you noticed, it started between the 4 and the 0, and it moved between the 3 and the 4. Now, if we divide by 10 and everything moves down one place value, what do you think happens when we divide by 100? Our zeros give us the clue. When we divided by 10, we moved one place value. What do you think happens when we divide by 100? If you said we moved 2 place values, you're right. One big clue are the 2 zeros in 100. That tells us how many place values we move. So let's once again label our number with its place values. If we divide by 100, my digits stay the same, but their place values have changed. Everything moves down 2. So my 5 started in the hundreds. It should end in the ones. My 3 started in the tens. It should end in the tenths. My 4 started in the ones. It should end in the hundredths. And my 0 started in the tenths, and it should end in the thousandths. So how do I show that this is 5 and 340 thousandths? I put that decimal in. It started between the 4 and the 0, and we said everything moves 2 times, 2 place values, so I'm going to move that decimal 2 places. Well, finally, what do you think happens? I'm going to move over here. If we divide by 1,000, once again, our zeros are our clue. We moved 1 place value with 10. We moved 2 place values with 100. What do you think will happen when we divide by 1,000? If you said we move 3 place values, you're right, because we have 3 zeros. That's our big clue. We label our place values. Our digits stay the same, but everything moves down. My 5 was in the hundreds. If it moves down 3 place values, it should end in the tenths. My 3 started in the tens. If it moves down 3, it would be 1 past the tenths, which would be the hundredths. And my 4, which was in the ones, if it moved 3 place values, it would end in the thousandths. And this 0 is in the tenths. 3 place values past the tenths is actually the 10,000ths. We have never talked about the 10,000ths before. Did you know that place value goes on and on forever? Just because we don't talk about it in 5th grade doesn't mean that there aren't place values past the thousandths. So now we have to figure out how we can show that this number is 534 thousandths? Well, my decimal started between the 4 and the 0, and it's going to move 3 times. Starting on, placed on the left side of the 5. So for your practice today, you are going to be dividing by tens, hundreds, and thousands. And how do we show it? Do we have to do a lot of division? No, it's really simple. We just move our decimal, okay? So I hope you have fun and you're able to have a little break from doing a lot of hard, long division today when all we're doing is moving the decimal.